Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, I'll just send the link to.
Yay, we have one viewer. Amazing.
I'll just send the link in the driver's chat.
Maybe mute the stream.
Yeah, I have it muted. I'll just.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So it's also a wet quali session. Let's just see what tire the drivers go on, because it seems pretty heavy from what I can see.
Well, so far everyone has fitted the
wet...
inters. Well, let's have a proper introduction. So everyone, welcome to the live stream of the special event at Monza before the season start of season 2 of CWR. Right now we are starting a wet qualifying session in Monza.
Everyone is indeed on the inters.
So just to explain, this special event has no real consequences for the championship standings. It's just fun for the season type of thing, where we have the realistic car performance turned on, and based on the performance of the drivers, they are selected into the teams. So people that have finished higher up the order in the championship last season, they are in worse car right now, just to balance out the grid. If it will have any real effect, we'll see later. It is a wet Monza.
Obviously will have some effect, but how much we will still see.
Yeah,
I think the Williams of Rhythms is gonna cross the line first to start his lap.
But is he getting the tow? Okay, never mind. He didn't want to get the tow from the Renault. Yet for some reason, out of 20 people that were supposed to race here, with a load of reserve drivers, we only have 17 right now. Not sure where the others went.
So TM Ducky is starting his lap first. I think after that comes Rhythms. Yes, indeed.
And then there's and so it goes.
They will set the time first. I think TM Ducky is gonna come up to some traffic on his lap.
And Forever Sen has left.
Probably because of a disconnection.
It could be. There's yellow flags for some reason. But like so far, very passive participation in the qualifying. Not many people are setting their lap times from the beginning of the session.
The lap times are gonna come in now.
How many sets of inters do the drivers have in a wet qualifying?
They have, I think it's 2 or 3 sets of inters that they have that they can use. I think most of the drivers will fuel up and go for a lot of consecutive laps.
Yeah, just to get the heat into the tires.
In a wet quali, it's really about building the confidence, and you can't just go flat out like from the get-go. You really need to build up your confidence. TM Ducky comes across the line with the first time of 1:30.2.
Rhythms is gonna set the second lap time. If we can see the... No, he didn't. And apparently he went into the pits. So it goes is the second person.
Follows. And those are also follows. No one came really close to the time of.
We'll see about that, because Carson
Who
comes
isn't
around the
going for a second
Parabolica
lap.
to finish his first lap. Let's see what the time will be for
Seems
him.
like he's got a nice lap.
And it's
Max
second
Ducky.
place. Yeah, it's only half a second behind TM Ducky, which is not a bad time considering the other ones. But Preston, for some reason, has 1:38. I don't know if there was a mistake or something, or is it just
That's
that the Alfa
probably
Romeo
not
sucks
a
that
first
much?
No. Jackson is P5 in his Alfa Romeo, very close to the time of the McLaren. So that's a good lap from Jackson.
Yeah, the
Enzo
field
is coming-
seems to be tightening up over time as Felix set a time that puts him in P6. After so many convincing performances in last season, you would expect him to be fighting for the front of the pack, but because of he is in the Williams, that really screws up his positions.
Kimi comes across the line at P7 at the moment. Quite some ways off his teammate, but I think he's pushing for another lap. So
Could
we'll
be.
just see. Yeah, he's deploying all his ERS again. That's also a thing in the wet. Your ERS doesn't get deployed as much because you're much longer on the brake and much less on full throttle, which deploys a lot of ERS. Kimi is 3/10 up in the first sector alone, so we'll just. Carson goes
Oh my
quickest.
god, he destroys
Yeah,
TM
good
Ducky
lap.
with this time. He's the first one to cross the 1:30 range right now. King Enzo
Yeah.
comes around the final corner to set his first lap time. And never
Kimi
mind.
validates his lap. Kimi was
Apparently this one
5/10
wasn't
up on
validated
his
as
lap.
well though.
Gonna get a tow from Felix. Yeah, you can just see the traction issues that the drivers are getting.
Yeah,
Really hard to
Preston
accelerate.
gets up
but
into P3 by the way with a 1:30.5.
That's a great lap.
So he improved by 8 seconds. What an improvement.
Jackson is getting a beautiful tow. He's 4/10 up on his time.
And Trigger goes off track and that screws up his lap time.
I just know that Jackson and Charlie are in the party because that was they meant to do that tow. It really helped Jackson, and can he beat his teammate now? That would be the
Yeah, he needs to improve by just
dream for him.
0.5 seconds, which is not that much.
Dolger comes across the line for P3, and
Does Jackson beat?
just
He doesn't.
he's
By
just about
400ths of a
doesn't
second.
beat.
Very
It's
close
definitely
pace.
really close the field at the moment. And the track is obviously getting faster and faster as the drivers set their laps. And the confidence is building with the drivers. So, King Enzo, great lap from the AlphaTauri.
Damn.
Goes into That's a good lap from him.
Kimi was up by 2/10 in the second sector, so not that big of a deal, but
He is
the
6
field
tenths
is
up at
getting
the
closer
moment.
right now.
Kimi 6/10 up, approaching Parabolica at the moment. Just see what his lap time is gonna be. I suggest it's 1:31.2.
And you're right, almost.
1:31.1.
Yeah, so
1:31.1.
Alfa Romeos, despite the
Didn't match
performance
Alfa
gap,
Romeos.
despite the performance gap that the Ferrari has against the Alfa Romeo, it seems like the Alfa Romeos aren't struggling as much as we would expect them to be. Unfortunately, this whole thing where the worst drivers are in the better cars is kind of jeopardized because of Forever Sin having connection issues, so that's one Mercedes out of the way, and the second Mercedes didn't even join the lobby. So we are expecting, so in performance it should be the Red Bull, and that's only Trigger who hasn't set a lap time yet. That should have the biggest performance.
Jackson did in fact jump his teammate there with a 1:30.5 flat. That's
Okay.
half a tenth quicker than his teammate at the moment. And he did that on 4 lap old intermediates, but that the tire wear really doesn't affect you that much. I'm now on
Jato
board with
improves.
TM
Jato improves
is
by
going half a
1/10.
second quicker. TM Ducky. Oh, rhythms! What's that? It's a Williams on pole at the moment.
No way.
That's a mighty lap. That's a mighty lap from rhythms. Jackson retires in sector 2. That's a crash.
Goodbye.
But now TM Ducky is going to crawl across the line, gets on the rumble strip a bit, so loses a lot of time there, and he indeed pulls into the pits.
I'm getting a message from Carson saying that we should invite the people that are lagging out, or that aren't in the lobby.
Oh yeah. That's
Right,
Oh,
but
that's Jackson. In last mode too. He is out of this qualifying session.
so one Alfa Romeo out. But the time has been set, and the time wasn't that bad, so it can't hurt him as much as we would expect it to.
Yeah.
But out of nowhere, with realistic car performance, by the way, Right Thims absolutely destroys everyone in the field. And on my graphic, apparently with 0 laps in his tires. What a wonderful performance that is.
Now it's
And his teammate Felix is in P12, so is there a difference in the car performance or just the player performance?
It's definitely the player performance, because
Yeah, Felix didn't have the best.
Lap really early in the session, and he did improve by almost a second on another flying run that he invalidated. But actually Preston
goes, oh
the
my
second
god,
sector.
that's nice. But we're still anxiously
I don't
waiting
believe
for...
that for a second, and he invalidates his lap.
Never mind. And so it goes,
King
isn't improving
Enzo.
at all.
King Enzo goes for an out lap. He needs 3/10 on his lap. So if he can manage that.
And so it goes, isn't going to improve on this lap, but he should go for a second run, because he does have enough ERS to do the other stuff as well. We're still anxiously waiting for Trigger to set a lap time, because in performance he should have the best car. Does he have the best time though? That's the question, as he is on his out lap, but that's probably only enough time for 1. Maybe 2.
Right now I'm watching the sister team of AlphaTauri, the P3 at the moment. King Enzo is 3 thousandths down on his time at the moment, but the most time is found in sector 2 with this track that is getting way faster at nearing the end of the session.
Yeah, in the front, the slightest difference, the slightest improvement could get you a long way right now, so if he plays his cards right, he could even challenge for pole position, unless Trigger is gonna say something about it.
It's up by 2/10 at the moment, so that's almost
pole
enough.
position
If he nails the Starry, no, almost.
Yeah, but will he have enough time for another run?
If he nails the Parabolica, then he could see himself on the pole position right now. We will just have to see as he comes around the final bend right now. A little slide. He
does it.
He goes quickest.
Damn.
He does it
by almost 2/10.
That's a great lap. Great lap by Enzo, but he's not backing off at the moment, it seems.
Yeah, it seems like he's going for another lap. It's very obvious he's not gonna make it in the pits and again out, so it doesn't make sense.
Maybe he would make it, but he's going for another lap.
The man to watch right now should be Trigger, with the best car in the field right now, but it doesn't seem like he's having the time of his life as he crashes out.
Enzo is improving by 1/10.
So Trigger needs to get back into the pit lane and back out. I don't think he has enough time to actually set a lap time then. That's very unfortunate. Did you invite the people back?
I think everyone is in right now.
Well, I only see still 17 people.
Yeah, but those people didn't join.
Right.
I'm just curious because Enzo is still improving by half a tenth. So he is looking to, oh, and he goes wide, but
Apparently
he didn't invalidate. But I think a lot of time is
Carson didn't
scrubbed
improve
up
on the
there.
first sector though, so it should mean that if King Enzo improves on this lap, he should get the pole position by the end of the
I'm pretty sure
session.
he won't improve. Pretty sure he won't improve. He's going for a new lap, I think.
He did.
Oh, he does improve.
One tenth,
He does
but
improve
it
by
could
1
make the
tenth.
difference. King
And
Enzo
he
out
can
of
still
nowhere.
improve on this lap. He's really going at it right now. Carson is 4 tenths down at the moment, saving his ERS for another lap. I see Carson as the only real challenger for King Enzo at the moment.
Yeah, it should be
King
said
Enzo
that
is
King
cutting
Enzo
every
isn't
corner.
even participating in...
Oh! TM Ducky! TM Ducky goes pole position by 2/100ths of a second. TM Ducky pulls it out of the back, and now Carson is starting his lap as well.
Okay, so out of nowhere, the Renault is back on top, and Rythems is still in the pit lane. Okay, nice drift by Carson. Not sure if that's gonna gain him any time, but Rythems is on his outlap right now. Can he make it in time? That's the most important question of all, because he's in a Williams, and he was challenging for pole positions. That's very impressive. What's very interesting to note is that King Enzo isn't even in the main driver lineup for the next season. He's only a reserve driver, so if he can impress enough in the special event...
Oh, King Enzo! He actually slammed into the wall.
As I was trying to praise him,
yeah,
he really doesn't make it really easy, but if he does make a good impression in this event, maybe the team principal is gonna have something to say about the driver lineup for the next season.
Yeah, definitely. So at the moment it's very close. The top 5 are all in the 129s, and then it's really close from P6 to P12 really.
Yeah, obviously we would love to see Jackson fighting for the better positions as well, but unfortunately he did disconnect, and Trigger is on his outlap right now, but I'm not sure if he's gonna make it. Well,
I'm pretty sure he will.
Well, disconnect because he retired.
Yeah, he retired because...
Is Trigger gonna make it though, for his only lap?
Carson really nailed turn 1. I think you would see him improve by a lot in the first sector, and he's going on a late charge for pole position. Yeah, Carson is 1/10 up in the first sector alone.
Yeah, that could get him at least P3, but if he nails the second sector, he should be even able to get the pole position out of nowhere.
The most time is found in the second sector, so I will go on board with him, because this could well be a pole position.
Yeah, the Lesmos are a very important corner around this track. Let's see the split time.
Ferrari lacks.
But he's still up.
He is improving by a 10.5. Ascari is really important.
Rythems isn't improving, by the way.
Seems like he's
and Trigger is just starting his lap, so he did make it. Okay, he comes around Parabolica.
Carson comes around the final bend. Will he set pole position? Will he improve time?
No, just P3.
It's oh so close. It's half a tenth separating the top 3, and that's great to see, honestly.
The incredible amount of pace.
Let's take a moment to appreciate the Williams of rhythms.
And Trigger crashed out again, so he's not gonna set a time though. So our expectations are all in vain right now, as the Red Bull will be starting from the back of the grid. But Jake Marsh though is up 1/10 on this lap, so he could get at least P8. Oh, he didn't disconnect after all, look at that. And he's P9, not bad. not bad. Obviously, he didn't have the best kind of results in last season, so it's great to see that he's not struggling as much anymore. We'll see about that in the race.
He's in a Mercedes and he's P9, so it's still a struggle for him, but at least he nailed the lap down without.
Yeah, at least he completed the lap, unlike Trigger. He invalidated his lap twice.
P10 right now. Kimi improved on his time, even though he was in the grass, so there's a lot more time in it for Kimi, but he unfortunately ran out of battery, ran out of everything, ran out of... Yeah, look at that, look at your top 3 right now, separated by 34 thousandths of a second. That's insane. Close as you'd like, close as you'd like. Top 12 separated by 1 second.
Yeah, on a wet Monza, that's amazing.
Amazing. It was a good qualifying. Let's just see what the weather is going into the race and whether it will be a dry session or a wet session. Both would be very, very interesting. Also, everyone can start on the mediums if it would be dry, because you have a free tire choice if you qualify in the intermediates. Let's just see the weather going into the race.
Yeah, it's important to note that the car performance is still unrealistic. So the fact that Rhythms and Williams got P3 by just like the smallest of margins is very impressive. And so is the performance of TM Ducky and King Enzo in the Alpha Tauri. So, like the midfield teams, the midfield teams being in the top positions, that's just what you want to see as a team principal watching this right now. If you're interested in a change of the driver lineup, so I'm guessing that the people that aren't here but are on the driver lineup will need to pick up their pace a little bit once the season starts.
Jake Marsh disconnected from the race.
Because from what I'm seeing, King Enzo is on his way to a good result. And we're off.
Away we go, and it's carnage at the start. Preston got a
penalty. Probably for a jump start. Dozier crashed out immediately.
Even more carnage
into turn 1. Preston cuts turn 1 a little bit, but he is side by side with TM Ducky and gets P1 out of turn 2. So Preston in the lead, but TM Ducky comes back around the outside the Curva Grande. Let's see what the battle will bring. And TM Ducky stays in the lead. King Enzo in P3. Timber gets up into P4, and Forever Sin from P9 or 10, I think, got up into P5 in just a matter of 1 sector. And so it goes P6, Jackson P7, so he holds position. Charlie P8, Kimi P9, Jado P10, and Felix falls back to 12. Trigger up into 13th, beginning his rise through the positions, but in the straight line, as you can see, him and Williams are side by side, even though they shouldn't really be. Rhythms, for some reason, down into P15, and Carson is last place after qualifying so good. Man.
Just a little heads up. Now, Preston will have to pull into the pits and serve his drive-through penalty for a jump start. That would mean that TM Ducky is still in the lead. He continues, but he is gonna have to serve it in the following 2 laps. Otherwise, he'll get disqualified. Forever Sin gets an amazing start up to P4 already, and it will be P3. Jake Marsh gets
actually he's side by side in the first chicane, and he's gonna lose the P4 that he attempted to take. But I'm sure that he has better pace than the McLaren. There was some end plate flying up, but look at that, around the outside of Curva Grande. He still has enough pace to get ahead of him into the second chicane. Wonderful race start so far on lap 2 from Forever Sin. The McLaren's down into P5 and 6. But what interests me the most is that Dulger, Rythims,
the
and
McLarens
Carson,
combined.
the bottom 3 positions, and look at that, they're still in the pit lane, so almost half a lap down, if not more. And those are the people that we thought they were gonna do very well, but for some reason, Team Ducky, as my co-commentator should mute his mic about now, we're seeing Team Ducky pull away from King Enzo, who pushes back up into P2 even before Preston served his drive-through. So that's gonna push even Preston down the order, and people who we haven't even seen in the first season of CWR are gonna be fighting for top positions in this special event. That's just what you want to see with the settings like this. So far it doesn't seem that the weather will be changing as much, as the rain is still coming down and everyone is on the inters. So it's just a matter of how good you are at avoiding carnage and not getting penalties, as Forever Sin is into P4, but he's also catching Preston out of nowhere, just blasts through the pace of the McLarens, and he's immediately on the back of Preston. I don't know if Preston has damage or something, but Forever Sin is absolutely killing it right now, even though he is in a Mercedes, so we would expect him to do that, but definitely not as fast. Inside of 3 laps, gain 5 or 6 positions and attacking the podium places right now. And so it goes, actually overtook Timbit right now, so the McLaren switched places. Nova Apollo somehow got into P7 just by avoiding the carnage, starting from the back of the field. He gained loads of positions inside of the 3 laps. Jackson struggling a little bit, as
he's doing good up in P8, to be honest. Sticking with the midfield car.
Well, compared to Preston.
No, Preston had a jump start, and he's just trying to make the most of it, because he will have to pull in right now, as you can see. Promoting Forever Sin up to the podium positions.
Yeah, so he goes for the drive-through, and it's gonna promote him back, and Dulger has DNF'd, probably a crash in the second sector, and we have a safety car. So Preston. So Preston actually gains.
Really unlucky, because if it came out a little bit earlier, he would have really have real benefits. But now it's just he can.
At least he can catch back up, and that's great news for Carson and Rythims. Unfortunately, not for the Dulger, who is the person that crashed out and called the safety car. But X Felix 1, Rythims, and Carson are all gonna be able to get back into the pack.
Your microphone is a little bit not so loud. It's
okay, it's better now.
I hope so, but let's see. Will anyone pit? That's what I
highly doubt it. It's been only 4 laps on those inters. I don't think that the tire wear is that big right now.
There are some time penalties on the yellow flags.
Yeah, while we're at it, we should see what they are. Oh, 5 seconds.
For some collisions.
And Charlie got probably a corner cutting penalty.
Let's just see what is TM Ducky gonna do. He's staying out, like we thought. King Enzo faked going into the pit.
Yeah, but he's too far ahead to bait anyone. So Forever Sin, from being 9th on the grid, gets up into P3 with a comfortable safety car ahead of him.
With P10. Oh, there is ASPF Kimmy and Trigger going to the pits. Those are the only ones who are risky.
Is it a front wing change? It's not a front wing change for either.
Trigger did have a penalty and a front wing change, so you will drop back massively. Preston also coming to the pits. So they are they trying to go to the end?
I don't know. We don't know what the weather will be like towards the other parts of the
pretty sure
race.
it will stay wet for the whole race, but rhythms get a time penalty. For
Well, as we
speeding.
saw later in the first season during the race at Monaco, Preston was amazing at saving those tires and forcing everyone to stay out, so I highly doubt that he's gonna have any tire wear issues right now.
Yeah,
So
it's
they probably are
one-stop
going
in
to
there.
the end.
So look at for Kimi, for example, who pulled into the pit. Would that put him in a race-winning position?
Actually, yeah. Well, once the field bunches up, obviously it will.
Because it will be really harsh on tire wear at
So
the end
maybe,
of the race. I don't know
just
if they would
maybe,
make it.
just maybe out of nowhere, just imagine that the whole bottom of the pack is going to the end after the pit stops, and everyone after the safety car ends will pit, so actually the front runners that were supposed to be at the back are going to be fighting for first places anyway. So that could really
Actually,
screw up the chances that Team Ducky and King Enzo and Forever Sin are trying to enjoy, as this is an event really designed for a good performance for them, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen.
Actually, there's in the drivers chat in Discord, there's Dolger who crashed out, said Preston hit him from the line because we all know Preston had got a time penalty like a drive-through. But did he ruin some races? As
I mean,
he overtakes
it's
under
not
safety car?
it's not a you know, a thing to just throw it out of the window, because we have seen Preston doing some risky moves over the course of last season. So it's not bad to assume that he did
Not
do
unimaginable.
something.
Unimaginable.
But
So,
we haven't saw
Dolger-
it, so we cannot give any specific info about that.
Dolger does blame Preston for the carnage at start, which means that Carson is still trying to catch up to the field, and Rhythms, after qualifying a grade P4, is all the way down.
What does he have a penalty for? Probably some kind of a collision.
I think it was a collision penalty. Charlie, I think he's the only one who really got a, oh no, he's got a 5-second time penalty as well.
Yeah, so far, lap 6, starting lap 7, P1, Team Ducky, King Enzo P2, Forever Sin P3. Wonderful performances from people we haven't really seen shine. P4 and 5 are... See what?
Team Ducky and King Enzo didn't change any positions, they just stayed the same. But then behind that, it's Forever Sin who gained 7 positions, and so it goes gained 2 positions. Tim gained 4 positions, and Novo Apollo gained 11 positions. And he was last place, and he's now P6. Jackson gained 4 positions, Charlie gained 7. Gato Racing gained 4. Jake Mars was disconnected.
By the way,
I sent him another invite.
By the way, Rhythms did 2 stops, so that's why he's totally lost.
He is catching back up right now, so
The field
everyone
is bunched
back
up.
in the hunt for the race. Kimmy gained 1 position, Preston lost 5. Felix gained 1 position, Trigger gained 2, and then Carson, Rhythms, and Dolger all lost 12.
Yeah, just very important to mention, Nova Apollo and Rhythms are both reserve drivers. So if they perform well after the safety car, by the way, it is in this lap, it would be very interesting to see what the driver lineups will be and how will they change. Obviously, I don't think Rhythms is gonna get into the main lineup, as I'm guessing that X Felix 1 and Preston are not in danger of losing their seat anytime soon, but he could get snatched up from another team or something like that. Like, Rhythm's performed very well in the qualifying, and I highly doubt that he's gonna perform badly in the race now that the field is bunched up. And we're back underway, by the way, as for some reason, it was, I don't know who it was, I think Preston held up a big portion of the grid. I don't know what happened there, but we're back under racing conditions, as there seem to be no big... Yeah, there's doesn't seem to be any big moves being made. Oh, actually, King Enzo almost had to defend from Forever Sin around the outside into turn 1, but he held it together. But Forever Sin loses the third position, and look at that, he pushes Nova and Timbit a little bit wide just to hold the position, and now Nova is almost free wide. It is free wide into the second chicane, and Nova loses 2 positions off of that. Jackson up into P6. Now Timbit actually gained position on, and so it goes, ran wide, and now Jackson is up into P5, going side by side into the Lesmos. And so it goes, really has to defend, and he spun. Oh, but he did hold it at least, but Nova Apollo loses a lot of positions and front wing damage off of that mistake. I don't know if there was a collision or just a screw up from Jackson, but somehow he just lost the battle with, and so it goes, and is still well in the running. Unfortunately, it did hurt Nova Apollo, who is down in P9 after some front wing damage, and the 2 Haas's of Charlie and Jado got in front. And back at the front, Forever Sin held the battle against Timbit and is up into P3, and the gap seems to be under a second, so we could have a battle on our hands. And back at the back, oh my god, Felix spun after the Ascari, and he's out?
It's gonna be 3 wide again between Jackson, Jato, and Preston now.
And unfortunately, Nova Apollo has to go into the pit lane right now.
Jato really squeezes Charlie out. You won't be very happy with that.
But there was no damage at least. And Preston is... Oh my god, he pushes him wide. So maybe Dolger was right about the carnage, because this was very dangerous. Can he go for the second Haas though? Oh, look at that. He tried to attempt for a dive bomb, but it was just a look and nothing else happened after that. Yellow flags being thrown everywhere. This is absolute carnage. I'm loving this.
Nova Apollo dropped down to P15 after being P6 at the restart. Something must have happened between Charlie, Jackson, Preston, and Nova. Forever Sin gets a 3-second time penalty for the track extension. And we'll just check on Kinney and Carson. Carson is driving really well to get back into P11 from what was a very hopeless position. Trigger gets another penalty. But here around battle for P7, really close. Preston is going to try it on Jato again. And he's going to have a clear shot at him now. Jato is a little bit too far away for Preston to attack now, but it will be very interesting to monitor.
Yeah, for some reason the back of the grid is slowly but surely catching up, but we don't know what happened after the safety car was supposed to come in, because there seemed to be like a very big gap that probably Preston created, but we're not sure. Look at that, down the inside he goes around Jado, and he does it just like that. I don't know why Charlie fallen back though out of the battle. Battle for P7 is going to be probably the most intense thing we're gonna see this race, as people are very spread out right now. King Enzo is really trying to get to TM Ducky, but he did set the fastest lap on the last lap.
Indeed, but Forever Sin is now really close to the back of the AlphaTauri of King Enzo. Tim is following 2 seconds behind, but in this main straight, can we see Can we see Forever Sin with his power advantage of the Mercedes? Can he challenge King Enzo for P2? Let's see. King Enzo Forever Sin sets the fast lap. It doesn't seem like he is quite
not close enough.
Forever Sin King Enzo is closer to TM Ducky than Forever
Well, we
Sin
could
is
see
to,
a move from Triggered onto TRT Carson as they are very close to each other.
Enzo is going for the lead. Enzo is going for the lead around the outside of the Curva Grande. They are going side by side now. Is he going to stick his nose in? He is.
Oh, he cut it a little bit. He was pushed a little bit, but he does it.
King Enzo gets a better exit, but they're still side by side for the lead right now. Into Lesmo 1. They're side by side. The respect is giving between the two. Forever Sin has the best view, and
but Forever Sin is joining the battle now. This is amazing stuff. Instead of 2 10s, that's 3 people going into the Ascari.
Into the Ascari chicane, they're going side by side. Can King Enzo hold it? He's switching it from left to right, but it doesn't really work. From P7, from the battle to P7, it's
but
now
they are
gonna
come back.
Forever Sin is going to go for the move down the inside of Parabolica, but he's blocked off by King Enzo there.
He doesn't have enough overtake to make it.
Who is now going to try and move on TM Ducky on the straight, but he isn't quite close enough.
Look at that, Forever Sin is going for it.
A magical one. He's got a magical one. He's going for the move down the inside at the first chicane. TM Ducky is profiting from this. He is late on his locks the right front, but he does it. King Enzo is from attacking the lead and getting the lead down to P3. Forever Sin is flying right now.
Yeah, what a move. It's important to mention that he does have a penalty and absolutely no ERS right now, so King Enzo could be still up for regaining the position. Jado is off and he's out, so that's a free position for everyone
he's in the middle of the road. That's very dangerous.
Yeah, very important to mention in the Discord chat. Also, we saw the accusation from Dolger onto Preston, and now XFelix1 is out of the race and he's being very vocal about what a mess this race is, which is obviously something you'd expect when the order of the people, the car performance is changed, the weather, all of this has changed, so I don't think it's very good to assume that this race is somehow really bad. We're loving to see these battles at the front, but yeah.
I love to see them, and I think Forever Sin is going to try and set up a move. He doesn't have the ERS to do it, I think, because BMW got a little bit more.
Yeah, King Enzo, by the way, pulls into the pit lane. He's going for the undercut.
That's bold. He is going for a big undercut, because the normal pit window would be lap 14 or 15. So will Kimmy come out ahead of him? He will. So Kimmy has already done his job, and he is now probably leading the race, because even Carson is ahead of King Enzo, who really drops back into some traffic. So will his undercut be ruined by the solo traffic he's going to encounter? Meanwhile, Forever Sin is trying to follow TM Ducky through, and will they react to what King Enzo is doing? I think they'll have to, but let's see if someone is going for the bold overcut, which can also help, because there's a lot of free air at the moment, especially for TM Ducky. If he wants to continue and he's got good pace, and he might profit from that as well. King Enzo really filters out in some traffic, which you can see if you go on board with him. He's in traffic of 4 cars at the moment, and he can't get past.
Yeah, Dolger, thank you for the Fernando Alonso impression. I'm sure we will have everyone will have a look at that. Everyone will have to look at the accidents, by the way. But I'm not sure if you can get penalty points into the season, even if you've done something stupid in this race, right? Carson said something about the penalty points being transferred. So yeah, there's gonna be a heated discussion afterwards.
Let's shift our focus now to Forever Sin. Is he going to come out ahead of Enzo?
Yeah.
It's really close.
Just
it's
3 wide.
It's 3 wide into turn 1.
Oh my
Enzo
god.
is trying to jump Forever Sin. Forever Sin. No, he does it. King Enzo jumps Forever Sin into turn 1. So his undercut did work, and he's now got some free air to chase down the Red Bull trigger PK.
Really gotta appreciate.
Ian Ducky is improving. He's really pushing right now. He's improving by. Oh, he didn't improve right there, but he improved 2/10 in his first sector.
So, how long does the pit stop take around Monza?
I don't really know, but
Jake Marsh for some reason has left the session.
26. King Enzo is 26 seconds behind right now. He's got some clean air, but TM Ducky indeed comes into the pit. So now it will be very close. Forever Sin.
Yeah, he really needs a good stop right now.
Drop back a little bit. Forever Sin dropped back a little bit. Yeah, but it's a patch. Every stop is going to be a 2.6 stop. 2.6 seconds. Will that be enough though? TM Ducky.
Yeah, King Enzo is the man to watch right now. Will he come out ahead of TM Ducky? It seems like not. TM Ducky gained a lot from the undercut. Look at that.
TM Ducky did a great overcut.
Look at that. Up into P2. In a sandwich of the Ferraris, but the Ferraris haven't pit yet. So, yeah, TM Ducky regains. Really?
Yeah, he did under the safety car.
Oh yeah, we said it. We said it during the safety car that Kimi could just barely get into P1, and he did. Yeah, but Kimi does have 7 lap or 9 lap older tires than TM Ducky, so he's not gonna stay in the lead for much longer, I don't think. As TM Ducky's lining up the move on the second DRS straight, obviously without DRS. Can he do it though? He's not gonna do it into Ascari, but sooner or later it's gonna happen. King Enzo is gonna do the same to TRT Carson, and out of the very interesting Ferrari sandwich that we had going on here, the Ferraris are gonna leave the front positions as TM Ducky is going for the move into Parabolica. He's done it before Parabolica, and he even outbrakes Kimi, so hats off to TM Ducky with a wonderful strategy and wonderful performance. He's back up into P1. And now it's Carson pulling into the pit lane.
King Enzo is now trying to chase after Kimi, but he's 7/10 behind. He did get the fastest lap on the last lap, so he definitely got some pace, but he's got older intermediates than TM Ducky by 2 laps. So it will be very interesting. Jackson is now in the battle for P6, which is Kimi, and actually it's for P5 because Enzo and Rose is also pretty close to that battle. All in 2 seconds of each other. 4 positions. But let's see if Jackson can get close to the Williams of Rhythms, who is actually doing a great job right now. He was lost at one point with 2 stops already. There's a yellow flag in sector 2, that Red Wolf trigger going very slow.
Yeah, very important to mention, after all these accidents and bullshit happening at the back of the pack, Rhythms and Jackson pulled back into P7 and 8, which is not that bad considering what the shit they've been through. Fortunately for Nova Apollo, he was very far up the grid, but after the front wing change that was necessary after the accident, he dropped back down into P9, which is not the best result ever, but still, after the qualifying that he's had and all the carnage he's been through, like, not a bad performance whatsoever. And Forever Sin actually going Forever
King
Sin
Enzo
got
is fine.
into P3 as Kimi is going into the pit lane once more, so he isn't going to the end after all. So he withdraws from the battle for the podium positions, although he wouldn't hold out for much longer as the tires were very old for him. So the podium is, as we saw it before the round of pit stops, TM Ducky P1, King Enzo P2, and Forever Sim P3, though Forever Sim was very held up by the Ferraris, and now he's almost 3 seconds back with a penalty. So this truly comes down to the battle for the win.
Yeah, it's King Enzo vs TM Ducky, but I saw that King Enzo gained like 1 second in 2 laps, and he's now really close. TM Ducky made a mistake in the Lesmos, and now King Enzo is really close. It's a fight for the lead, but TM Ducky has got slightly more ERS than King Enzo, so that's his advantage. But I think TM Ducky and King Enzo are both very similar on warnings that they have. TM Ducky has got 2, so he's very close. King Enzo has got none, so TM Ducky is now really put under pressure. He can't afford to have any more warnings because he will get a 2-second time penalty, and King Enzo is right up his job without any warnings.
Yeah, Forever Sin, by the way, is losing a lot of time, and look at that, and so he goes, he's gonna go for the move around the outside into turn 1. Can he hold it, though? He doesn't. Forever Sin outbreaks him in the superior Mercedes, and he holds P3 for now, but it looks like he's under furious attack.
He's got the better exit, and so it goes up. Now they're going side by side through the whole Curva Grande. Forever Sin gets on the grass a bit, still holds his nose in, and outbreaks himself, actually, smashing into the side of the McLaren. They're going side by side into the Lesmos, but the McLaren does it. The McLaren does get the position of the Mercedes, who's struggling on this new set of intermediates after a great stint on the first set. He's coming back at him, around the outside of the Scari maybe. Yeah, he does it. He's going for the move around the outside of the Scari, and he holds it. He locks up, goes off the track a bit, but this is great racing. A lot of respect given. Jackson gets his first penalty of the race, and there's a safety car. Now what will the leaders do?
It's gonna be a very big opportunity for people that have older tires right now.
Is TM Ducky coming in? No, he isn't. Is King Enzo coming in? No. And so it goes May come in. This is so sad for Kingy. He could have got a free pit stop.
Oh yeah, if he tried to go
Jackson
for the...
is coming in.
Yeah.
Jackson is coming in. So he will have superior tires in comparison to the rest. Rhythms comes in as well. He's gonna serve his 5-second time penalty. So he's got no time penalties left. And now it will be very interesting. Preston stays out and gains a lot of track position. But Jackson is coming out 2 positions below him. Carson is coming right in the mix now. But on all tires, this is going straight down to the wire.
Yeah, very unexpected safety car. It probably happened because Charlie went off track for some reason at the start of Curva Grande. Yeah, and then he just retired after the mistake. Probably smashed his wing there. So just out of the one retirement, we have a safety car. Don't know if that was necessary, but it surely is gonna spice up the end of the race.
Probably was parked in an unsafe position for the rest of the field to come steaming through.
Well, but we saw earlier that it was probably Jado who was in the middle of the road retiring, and there was no safety car, so a bit inconsistency there.
Yeah, Old Trigger gets a 10-second time penalty for cutting a corner.
Oh.
He probably skipped the whole second chicane, but he did a dreadful performance in his Red Bull, which will not be very good for his reputation.
And for all these safety cars, Forever Sin is gonna be able to hold a good position.
Under safety car. Vega 2K did a Roman Grosjean and George Russell. Just DNF under safety car. But this is good for the people who didn't get a time penalty, like Kimi, who can jump up 2 places up to P6 at the moment, and he is on the fresh tires as well. Kimi may be an outsider for a podium maybe, because and so it goes has got a 8-second time penalty also. He can probably remove 5 seconds, but
yeah, it would be a real shame if TM Ducky and King Enzo would be somehow they won't have the ability to fight even more for the win, because it's a battle that's been going on the entire race. So that would be really sad to see them go if something were to happen to them, because this field being bunched up, that can't be any good, as we have how many 5 retirements in this race that cost 2 safety cars.
Very interesting with the field being so bunched up.
Yeah, you gotta appreciate somehow Preston after all of that carnage.
Carson is in the gravel. He was P9. Or even better actually, he spun under safety car. Couldn't retire though, but that's not what you want if you're Carson.
The safety car is in this lap, so it doesn't really help him as much. Let's hope that there isn't any carnage between Preston and the whole field. Oh my god, that's a lot of penalties. Okay, never mind.
They both get one. So TM Ducky is going to lead them away. He will.
But Kimi is the only person at the front of the pack that doesn't have a penalty. He could easily get into P3.
P3. He can, and he is on fresher tires.
Alright,
okay,
so
now it's
no big carnage before the safety car starts. So let's see if TM Ducky gets a good restart.
Okay, TM Ducky charges his battery, goes for it. Did he get a good exit? Oh, King Enzo gets a terrible one. King Enzo gets a terrible one. He drops down to P6.
Oh my.
I can't believe it. He drops down. And now it's now the McLaren going around.
Oh, Tim that goes for the move onto
P3. That's a great move. Can he do it? And so it gets 13 seconds of time penalties. And he does it. Preston gets pushed. Forever Sin gets pushed off by Tim. Preston is now in P4. And so this is really good for TM Ducky, who sees his biggest rival drop down to P6. Forever Sin goes for the move on Preston. Can he do it? Into the Lesmos? No, he thinks better of it. Kimi gets a terrible restart, but still has no penalty. Jackson is going at it.
Oh, Forever Sin dives into the inside, almost gets pushed off track there. Didn't work inside the second Lesmo, but he's gonna have a lot more opportunities. As King Enzo down into P6, but after the penalties he could easily get back into P2. Unfortunately, he is denied of the battle for P1. As Forever Sin gets up into P4.
Look at this battle for P4. They're so close to each other. There's King Enzo going for the move on Preston. Down the inside the Parabolica, will they give each other the space? Yes, they will. Oh,
and King Enzo is pushed a little. Oh.
There, he gets stabbed, and Preston goes off the track as well. Still all good though, as they're going.
Right, him out of nowhere could gain him free positions.
To make it 3 wide. King Enzo goes side by side with Jackson and Preston. Jackson tries to come back at him, but just doesn't have the exit speed, or does he? Oh, this is side by side through the curve. Jackson comes back at him, dives down the inside. Oh, he loses the rear under braking. Gets pushed on the curve, but it's still all fair.
Oh, look at that. Right there, charging down the inside of Jackson into the first Lesmo, very close. And they're still side by side into the second one. And still, Oh my god, this is good racing. But the Williams isn't enough. And Nova, oh my god, look at that carnage. Nova Apollo smashed into the rear of Rhythms, and both of them get out. Yeah, probably not enough carnage for a full safety car, but that ruined his and Rhythms' race. Not sure if anyone else got entangled in that bullshit.
Tim is now in P2 after he overtook his teammate, and so it goes. Will someone pull into the pits? No, probably not. That would be a stupid move.
Well,
Preston is coming in.
What did you say about the stupid move? And King Enzo as well. I don't know if there's some damage that we don't know about.
That's probably because damage.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, that's a change.
Oh, he's going on the dries.
He's going on the slicks. They are going onto the slicks.
And Preston as well. And Nova, Nova is going on the inters.
Oh my gosh, this is
and the Williams of Rhythms as well. Oh my god, what a twist!
Enzo is trying to. Okay, so how will the softs react? It will still be very slippery, and there's a lot of understeer and sliding right now.
Well, I mean, after what they've been through, it's very logical that they're going for risky moves. But there's still like 4 laps left, which is very much enough to gain some time. Yeah, the brain has stopped already.
At the moment he's gaining, but the wheel spin will be very... Yeah, you can just hear the wheel spin, the rear's locking. That's where they... it's really not ready yet. Not yet. Jake Mars reconnected and is now in P6. That's very motivational. Oh, and there's McLaren and Mercedes fighting right now into the Parabolica. Will the Mercedes get it? Forever Sin is deploying all his ERS and he's going around the outside. And so his goal is out of ERS, but is now trying to come back. At Forever Sin, they're on the intermediate and they're still coming spray of the intermediate. So I think it's really not ready yet. I think Enzo already lost 3 seconds. They're really not ready yet. But the problem is, he could gain some time back and gain some places back, but he's now really far away from everybody. Let's just see. This is his first push lap. How will it compare the softs to the intermediate at this point?
Very important right now, although Forever Sin and Timbit are fighting. Look at the battle that they have there. Forever Sin is gonna come out on top because of the penalties, and so it goes. Have 13 seconds worth of penalties, so he's gonna go down the field. So maybe even Jackson out of nowhere could get involved in the podium fight. There's still a lot of time left.
Absolutely.
Don't know what the dry runners are gonna be lapping right now.
Even the intermediate guys are still moving in their
I know that like you have to risk it, but was it worth it?
No, definitely not.
Yeah, King Enzo, a very disappointing end to his wonderful battle for P1 right now.
Ian Ducky is even going faster. He's going quickest of all. Ian Ducky, let's take a moment to appreciate. Oh, Jackson actually is now flying. Let's take a moment to appreciate the race that Ian Ducky has had. He caught the final pole. He did get in a heated battle with King Enzo. They gave each other the room and the respect. And now he's leading the race by 3 seconds and he's really comfortable.
Yeah, let's not count out of the battle Kimi though. Oh, there's an accident, and so it goes. His spun almost hits ASDF Kimi, but let's not, you know, cross out Kimi out of the running for good positions right now, because he still doesn't have a penalty. He's only 10 seconds behind TM Ducky, so this could really get into the smallest margins possible when deciding who's gonna be in the front of the position, at the front positions. Like, well, we haven't expected this, but we really need to appreciate TM Ducky's consistency over the whole race and qualifying. This was really a good place for him to shine. It's probably why he deserves a full-time seat at the driver lineup for next season. Although we haven't seen him as much last season, but I'm sure he's trained a lot. Look at the pace he's doing. Well, Team Ducky does it anyway.
Forever Sin goes even far, gaining on Team Ducky.
Yeah, we have 2 laps left. It's not enough.
I already know something, like Forever Sin started P10. He's going to get P2. That's very...
And DRS has been enabled, so the dry tires are probably faster right now, but it's too late.
Right now the dry tires are faster, but it's way too late. King Enzo already lost 10 seconds. He's now pushing, but
not enough.
Way too late.
So it goes into the pit lane for the dries, but he did have a penalty. So
yeah, 60 seconds.
That really didn't help him. After all the retirements, being last here actually gets you some points. Not that it matters in the championship, because there is no championship yet, but yeah, why not? So Team Ducky actually improves on himself right now. No, actually Forever Sin has the fastest lap, but he does improve in the second sector, so this is a chase for the fastest lap, not for the P1.
Yeah, King Enzo is trying to go for the fastest lap, definitely.
So the on-track battle, the only on-track battle we're gonna see until the end of the race is gonna be Jackson versus Jake Marsh. Hats off to Jackson for being in P4, like we haven't expected him to do something like that.
He started like P11, P10,
P9? P8, something like that. But he's been through a lot. He has 2 stops. He has 2 stops though.
He gained 7 positions, so he started P11.
Look at the move he's going.
But now Jake Marsh is trying to make a move down the inside. He's defending from Jake Marsh, and he successfully does so. But he's got less ERS, and Jake Marsh is still going at it. Will he go for the move around the outside? He will. Now he's got the inside. King Enzo does get the fastest lap of the race, but it doesn't really matter now. Let's go side by side. Jake Marsh gets the move done, and that's the position for Jake Marsh.
After having a snowstorm outside of his house, Jake Marsh gets P4. Well, on track after penalties, the positions are going to change a lot. Oh, no way!
He makes a mistake.
No way!
He makes a mistake. It's a big mistake from him. And he loses it at the last lap of the GP.
Oh.
So now Jake Marsh made that move for the podium position.
Timber did a Kimi Raikkonen, and that's rage quit.
Gets another penalty.
And Team Ducky is gonna come around Parabolica on the last lap.
Did get another penalty as well. Will Kimi get the podium? Kimi is not.
It is very possible. Team Ducky finishes the race in first place after very convincing and consistent driving. Team Ducky really deserves this win. Forever Sin in P2, even though he's in a Mercedes, really deserves there. And Jake Marsh is gonna finish in P3, and he no way.
He does. Kimi gets the podium. Oh,
Kimi, out of nowhere.
What a drive, out of absolutely nowhere.
Yes, some would argue that, oh yeah, he just cruised around in P6, but yeah, very consistent driving from him. No penalties, no carnage.
That's the fastest lap of the race as well. Yeah, gutting for him, but yeah.
Yeah, I think when you're talking about special event, I guess this race was very special.
It was special. It came right down to the wire about the podiums. It was a crazy race. Let's invite the boys to the party. It's TM Ducky. We'll add Kimi first. And Forever Sin with a great race. In the meantime, let's see Yeah, Forever Sing came from P10 to finish P2. ASDF Kimmy, or just Kimmy, came from P12.
Yeah, just because he didn't have any penalties, he got up into P3. What a carnage of a race this was. Jake Marsh, after he said in the chat that he has a snowstorm outside of his house and the internet is breaking down, his AI car was driving the whole race probably, and he just joined in and just took P4. Like...
So now P2 man has joined, welcome.
Hello.
Hello, we don't really hear you, but...
Oh, really?
I hear him just fine, it's fine.
Can you turn up your mic a bit?
Good try. Ow. So drop controller.
And P3 man has joined as well. I'm just waiting for TM Lucky.
Is that right?
The winner of today. Yes, so for the podium interview, I think Kimmy, you came P3.
Yep.
Yeah, P3 from P12 on the grid, and probably just because you didn't get any penalties. Were you really expecting the podium after the first lap carnage?
No, I was actually happy with a points finish, since I wasn't using ABS for the first time in my league racing career, basically. So I wasn't expecting big things. So I'm pretty happy with this. Totally unexpected, to be honest.
Hello, that's P1 man. And now, thank you for your time, Kimmy. Now moving on to Forever Sin, who came P2 from P10 on the grid. Also a great race, who got an amazing first lap, I think, gaining like 7 positions immediately. Yeah, how did you experience that first few laps of the race, where you gained like 8 positions?
It was a bit scary. I think I got lucky because a lot of people in front of me like crashed out, and yeah, first few laps were just hold on and just drive and try not to spin it. But I mean, I got to give credit to Ducky because I mean, a great race, and considering we're on realistic performance, you know, I was in one of the best cars on the grid, and I still wasn't able to catch him. So, yeah, really good drive from him. Yeah, I mean, it was a fun race as well because there were some great battles with the McLarens. Just trying to, you know, keep ahead of like Vota and so it goes, and Tim. But yeah, really good.
Yeah, really good drive. And now coming to the winner, TM Ducky, pole position, almost fast lap if it didn't dry out at the end. Very good race from you. You got challenged by King Enzo throughout the race. He fell behind at the safety car restart, but how did you experience driving in front for the whole time?
Yeah, I really have to ask, by the way, what was going through your mind after you saw all that carnage going around at the back of you? Yeah, the best thing
Yeah.
that we enjoyed about your driving was your consistency throughout the whole of qualifying and the race. Like, did it involve a lot of practice going into this event, or were you just not practicing at all?
Great drive by you. I want to thank you all for your time and for the race, and we'll end the stream now and enjoy it.